Hey, Professor Hayes. Just turning in my final reflection piece on the methods and models and assessment project we had to do. I found this to be a very challenging assignment, mainly because I'm coming from an outside or a switch in my career, and I don't have a lot of in-class experience like a number of the other my other members of the cohort that have years of teaching in private and as well as public schools. So I found that a little difficult to create a lesson plan off of a curriculum package that I found. Um, with that in mind, some of the weaknesses I had, we could start with. Was just finding a curriculum package online that I didn't have to spend hundreds of dollars on. I know I could find a lot of just lessons, and that wasn't exactly what we wanted. We wanted to kind of get a bigger lesson or a bigger curriculum package based off so many lessons that are taught through a quarter. Luckily, I did find one based on Lewis and Clark, or the Lewis and Clark expedition, that I really enjoyed delving into. I kind of have a personal interest in that topic. I kind of wanted to stay on the U.S. history side of it, whereas some of my other members in my cohort that I was working with in the peer review groups focused more on like civics, which I know is U.S. history. Now I take that back, but I just wanted to focus more on that topic more so than just delving into like Martin Luther King civics. I feel like that's taught a lot, and I just kind of wanted to get a topic that may not be taught as much to other students. Another kind of weakness I had on the assessment side was finding an assessment that wouldn't take all the class period and keeping the time frame to 55 minutes. I found that kind of being a difficult thing to do, and then also being able to provide the necessary feedback to students. Luckily, my curriculum package that I found had some points to go off of to formulate that into like a small formative assessment in the project. Strengths on this project for methods, I definitely liked the topic. That was good. I definitely could work through the justification that you gave us, the lesson plan, and kind of incorporated it really well. Like without that justification side where you had the blue marks, I would have been lost. Another thing, I found that this is very useful. This was very useful for us when we take our Ed TPA, because this is just modeled directly off of it. I just know firsthand. My girlfriend just graduated from an MAT program down in Portland, and they did very similar things. She even kind of showed me like what their basic outline was of their lesson plans and how they have to do the justification, and it was just spot on with what we're doing. So I think even though I've heard a lot of teachers that I've talked to and been around saying like, oh, you'll never have to lesson plan like this in depth and detailed with all that justification, unless you're getting like observed by your principal necessarily. Like you just don't have time to do it, is what I'm kind of getting the feel of. It's still really good to know, so when we get our license, when we go to get our license and everything, because without this we won't be teachers necessarily. Moving on to another, like just one strength on, I guess, the assessment side of it was finding the state standards that related to this lesson and the assessment side of it. I thought at first that was going to be a really hard thing to do, but I was able to go on OSPI's website, and it's nice how they just detail, bullet point everything that you need, or everything that they, have for like each subject, be like, this is the standard, are you hitting it? It was nice to being able to just go back and, basically almost just plug and play that into my paper. And I thought that was going to be one of the hardest parts of the paper, but it ended up being one of the easier. The only thing that was hard with that is I was able to connect so many standards to this assignment, and I know we wanted to try to keep it to 3, and I know I'm going to probably get docked on that part of it because I couldn't keep it under like 4, I think, was without like just drastically altering my paper. But with that in mind, I think if my thought on it was if you hit more of the standards, maybe that's good because you know the lesson has like merit. But overall, I thought this was a great segue to when we have to do our 3 lessons, and I know it's just going to keep getting easier because once we're like in a classroom, mentor or getting with our mentor teacher, we'll be able to just kind of dive into what their curriculum packages are and be able to pull our lessons from that. So that's going to be nice, not having to spend all that time searching the web or searching other areas to get those curriculum packages to then formulate our lessons. They're going to be already provided. I know it'll probably tell you exactly what standards are being presented in this lesson. So that'll be nice just to cut down on the time that we would have to search outside the classroom and then focus more on the lesson. But overall, I enjoyed doing this project. It was very challenging, and hopefully you can give us good feedback on where we need to go when we're going to have to turn in our EdTPA. I hope you have a good couple weeks off before we see you in the fall. Bye.